Eastern Conference Finals is in the books.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Big is back. It's bigger. It's cheesier. The Big New Yorker for Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN. It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Tipping off now.
119-108 the final score. Lakers lose to the Denver Nuggets. They drop to 0-3 in this series. Who would have thought that coming in? Listen, I know the Denver Nuggets are the number one seed, but I really like the Lakers' chances. I thought they matched up well against the Denver Nuggets, and what the Nuggets are continuing to prove around really the NBA and the league is they're a legit number one and are a legit threat to win the entire thing, and the Lakers right now, I don't think have any answers for how to win a game, let alone get back in the series. I'm going to throw the phone number out there, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Let me just give my quick thoughts on here, and we'll start queuing up some of these phone calls, and Darvin Ham will get a chance to listen to Coach. I thought the Lakers, what I did not think that was going to happen coming into tonight's game when you're this desperate, when you're yet to win a game this series, is you got to play from behind the entire game. Lakers were down at one point. End of the first quarter, they're down 12. I think the biggest lead that the Nuggets had in this game was 14. But didn't it always feel like they had a 5, 6, 7, 8-point lead, something along those lines? Isn't that supposed to be the Lakers who are coming back home, who are desperate, who are in a position where there's no margin for error? Isn't the opposing team supposed to be the team, or the road team supposed to be the one that falls behind early? Well, Denver did not sign up for that. I think play from two starters have been complete non-factors in this series. I'm talking about Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell. D'Lo, a much more important player that you were expecting to have more impact coming into this series, and he's been a non-factor, and he's actually hurt the team when he's been in games. We'll see if the Lakers decide, you know what, forget about it. Let's start Game 4. I would have done it in tonight's game. Let's start Game 4 with Rui in the starting lineup and Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup. Now, what does that do to your bench? It obviously depletes your bench, but who cares? Because if you keep falling behind and you're trying to play from behind, each one of these games, certainly like they did tonight, you're just behind the eight ball, and you got to play perfect basketball for the final 36 minutes or so just to be in a game, or all the energy that you put in trying to come back, and then by the time you obviously do come back, Denver is going to go on a run. So you got to have that ping pong back and forth. It's disappointing to see where the Lakers are, but I think it's also very, very clear Denver's been the better team, and I don't think there's any question about it. Defensively, offensively, sharing the ball. Their stars have been fantastic. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, certainly disappointing. Need a break from the everyday? Well, fans, it might be your lucky day, because tonight, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving away a 2-night stay, plus dinner and golf or bowling for two. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. Let's take a quick listen. Here is Lakers head coach Darvin Ham.
Darvin, could you just speak to the start Jamal Murray got off to them and how that kind of put you guys behind the eight ball for the rest of the game?
And he got off scorching. I felt like we were doing a pretty decent job on everyone else. He's one of those players, man. He gets to see it. Once he starts to see them go in, it's just he catches fire, and he rolls them off pretty quickly, which he did in that first half. Basically carried them offensively through that half. But, we did a little better job third quarter, I felt like. But, it's a tough ball club. Shout out to them. They're again, they've been at the top of the food chain for a reason and have a plethora of guys that can hurt you. As what's on full display tonight. But, circumstances are what they are. Difficult, but not impossible. We just need to come out, start the recovery process now and get ready to get a game on Monday.
Darvin, you guys have spent basically the 80-plus games trying to come back. Like, that's been the story of this team all season. Are you seeing enough energy from this group to still do it? Are you seeing the receipts maybe a little bit from the push your team has had to put into all of this to get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because a lot of it, against the really, really good teams, and we're a really, really good team. And I've seen how our defense, has put people in awkward positions and caused them to self-destruct at times, whether it was finishing up the regular season or in these playoffs. And, the defense is, once you get to this point, what's conference finals, the defense gets dialed up that much more. And so you can't have self-inflicted wounds, whether it's turnovers, whether it's giving up offensive rebounds, silly fouls that helps them get to the bonus quicker. I mean, I just think those things you got to be extremely, extremely disciplined. And then, you got to have some things fall your way as well. We had a bunch of shots that rimmed out. Which is unfortunate. But again, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. You just got to pick yourself back up. Again, fill our cups back up and try to come out and get one on Monday.
Darvin, at times it did feel like the team did take advantage of some of those non-Joker minutes between Austin and AD. Was it just because of that first quarter slump and that Jamal Murray, of course, first half, that kind of made it hard to come back from?
Yeah, I mean, he got going. I thought we were able to come back and take a lead. They had some, man, give them credit, man. They had some guys step up and make some big shots. Bruce Brown, Jeff, Michael Porter Jr., they had some guys that stepped up and played well. And, in the absence of Joker. And then once he came back, he just did what he does. And so, our biggest thing is, again, us continuously applying pressure, playing downhill, playing in the paint, making a simple play. And sometimes it worked out sometimes, and other times, we had some unfortunate circumstances in terms of turnovers or point-blank miss or give them a second chance opportunity. We just got to be more solid.
Darvin, pregame asked you about D'Lo. He went 1 for 8 today, 1 for 6 on threes. What did you make of his performance, or just kind of the struggles he's going through?
All good looks. He just has to remain aggressive. All good looks.
Darvin, what worked defensively in the second half against Jamal Murray that might not have been working in the first half when he was going?
I mean, we just decided to put a body on him and keep a body on him. He was getting loose. We had some miscommunication plays where, one person may have thought we were redding, another person thought we were staying home without me, looking at the game yet. Just felt like he took advantage of some of our defensive breakdowns. And, he scores in a variety of ways. It's not like a guy that's going to run 50,000 pick and rolls and so you can switch up that coverage and be okay, kind of slow him down. It's pick and roll, it's off ball, it's back doors, it's everything. And so finding them in transition. But us, the adjustment was both Dennis and Vando, I thought, tried their best to slow him down and disrupt him a little bit. In the second half, I thought we were able to do that, 30 in the first half, 7 in the second half. So, but again, just trying to mix up the pitches, but keep a body on them. And again, Dennis and Vando, they tried, but he's a hell of a player. And once he gets rolling, it doesn't matter who's in front of him.
Darvin, you guys take to your left. You guys take the lead in the fourth quarter, and I don't want to be disrespectful. They hit the 2 good threes, but they went on an 11-0 run. Was that defense? Was that turnovers? What did you see in that short little window?
I mean, I thought it was a little bit of everything. I have to go back and look at the tape to be 100% sure. But got a couple of turnovers, offensive rebounds by them, a couple missed shots by us, point blank. A couple open misses from 3, and it's just snowball effect.
Tobin, I'd asked you about the play of role players. How do you think Rui, Austin, Jared, Diaz, and D'Angelo, how do you think they equated themselves out there tonight?
I thought they did the best they could, all of them. They competed. And I'm disappointed, but I'm not upset. You know what I mean? In terms of, yeah, it sucks to lose, but those guys fought. They fought their hearts out. They tried to execute what we gave them. And for some of them, shots went down. For some of them, some didn't. And that's just the way it goes, man. Like it's their fight. Nobody was out there just going through the motions. Everyone, I felt like, everyone was competing and trying to get stuff done when they were on the floor.
Yeah, Darvin, with Denver's shot making, I think they've hit at least 14 threes in the three games tonight. Even when Jokic was sitting, they got the 5 threes at the end of that stretch. What do you look at scheme-wise versus just size or what they're doing, and is there anything that can be adjusted going into Game 4?
Yeah, we'll go back and look at the tape and then see where we go from there. Just everyone, as long as we remain competitive and ready to give multiple efforts, just in a general sense, I think we give ourselves a chance to be successful. But in terms of the particulars and the coverages and adjustments, we'll go back and look at the tape, and then that'll reveal to us what we need to do.
Hey, Darvin, I remember you recently wrote 0.3 on a whiteboard, signifying the chances that, you were given to make the playoffs after a 2-10 start. Obviously, the chances of recovering from a 3-0 hole are even tougher. Is there still that hope, though, considering everything that you guys have overcome already this season?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the deficit is 3-0, not 4. So as long as they haven't gotten to 4 yet, there's still hope. We're still alive. We just have to focus on winning one game.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham right there. Let's do this when we come back. I know we got a lot of Laker fans that want to react. 877-710-ESPN. We'll start taking your calls. We'll get a chance to listen from Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura as well. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 7.
Tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. Presented by Pizza Hut. Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker. Only at PizzaHut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Allen Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured and operated since 1956. Visit VistaPaint.com and start saving. Points in the Paint tonight, 52-38. Big advantage there for the Lakers, but the only score that matters is the final score, 119-108 the final score. The Nuggets have a 3-0 lead on the Los Angeles Lakers. I do want to take some phone calls. If you're out driving around or you're listening on the ESPN LA app or on any of our social platforms, we appreciate you guys being a part of the show. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Let's go to Greg in Torrance. Greg, appreciate you calling in. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, how you doing, Alan? Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to complain about the obvious. Russell didn't cost us this game, but he took away our chances to get ahead in it, and it was just so disappointing. We seem to have traded one problem Russell for another problem Russell, and it just hasn't worked out.
Well, and I appreciate you calling in. Let me give you D'Lo's stats so far this series. And by the way, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of calls about D'Angelo Russell. I get it. I'm not opposed to that. I would have I mentioned the pregame show. I was talking about, hey, do you still start D'Angelo Russell? I prefer Dennis Schroeder. Minutes-wise of what D'Angelo Russell ended up playing, he played 20 minutes, and Dennis Schroeder played 25. So that just kind of shows you how the Lakers, what they thought of his game and how he was affecting the game. So here's D'Lo's stats so far this series. He had 8 points, 4 of 11 in Game 1, 10 points, 3 of 8 in Game 2, 3 points, 1 of 8 in Game 3. D'Lo was not traded to the Los Angeles Lakers to be the equivalent of just Lonnie Walker. He was not traded to be Malik Beasley. He was not traded to be Jared Vanderbilt. He was traded. He's supposed to be the third best player on this team. He's definitely not the third best player on this team. And unfortunately for D'Angelo Russell, all playoffs he's had, for the most part, quiet moments. Game 6 closer against the Warriors, he had 19, 7 of 15, perfect. That's all you're asking for. Hey, D'Lo, can you get us about 18-5, 18-6, something like that? But he's had a lot of games. He had a 4-point game. He had a 10-point game. He had that 31-point game, the closer against the Memphis Grizzlies. That was awesome. That was fantastic. But his play is too erratic. And for the most part, if he doesn't have his offense going, he's already a liability on the defensive side. So certainly has not been the player that I think most people were hoping for, at least specifically in this series. And he was hot and cold in some of those in the first 2 rounds. Chris in Fullerton. Chris, what's going on?
Well, for taking my phone call, I just want to address to Laker Nation that D'Lo is off the hook. Let's not give up on him, and let's continue to just get on his back, and he's going to help us out. He's going to help us out on the next game.
Chris, appreciate you calling in. So it's not about getting on someone's back or not. It's not about showing support or not showing support. It's just here in the playoffs. And your numbers and us just watching or listening here on the broadcast, that should determine whether somebody's getting a lot of playing time or they're not. So it's not a personal thing. It's the Lakers are about to get eliminated thing. And I think it has more to do with that, right? It's not, I'd love to see Malik Beasley get opportunities. He seems like a great guy, but Beasley didn't show during the regular season when he got traded to the Lakers that you can count on him. That's why he can't come off the bench. Lonnie Walker's getting some opportunities because he's shown that he could deliver. Rui's getting opportunities because he's shown he could deliver. D'Angelo Russell's going the other way. So it's not a personal thing. Like I said, it's just more about that. Solomon in Lake Balboa. What's going on, Solomon?
Hey, Alan, I'm good. Well, sort of. I don't even know where to start. I mean, look, they're the better team, period. They're more consistent. When you need a shot, they make the shot. When you need a stop, they make the stop. When you need their stars to shine, their star shines. But when you need their role players to play their roles and step up, they step up, and they do it consistently. They've done it so consistently that they're up 3-0. Going forward, I think the Lakers, to me, have to concentrate more on offense, at least outside shooting. It's too streaky. You're not going to beat teams, especially like Denver, shooting the way the Lakers have so far in this series. So that's my 2 cents.
Solomon, appreciate you calling in. All right, let's take a quick listen. One of the players that has been incredibly consistent for the Lakers so far this series, Rui Hachimura, chipped in 34 minutes of play, 5 of 12 from the field, had 13 points and 6 rebounds. Here's Rui on the Lakers' loss.
Hey, Rui, at this point, how do you guys try to focus on Game 4 and not get discouraged by the fact that it's 3-0 now?
I mean, yeah, I've never been in a position like this, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just gotta, we just gotta watch film tomorrow and just focus on ourselves and trying to win the next game. Yeah.
Rui, Austin came in here and talked about, obviously, Denver, a very good three-point shooting team with Nikola Jokic. But when you look at what you think you guys could have done better tonight, where can the improvements be made for Game 4?
Yeah, I just think I've been saying it, but I think they're just bigger than us. They can just shoot over us. We smaller than them, so they can just shoot over us. And of course, the Jokic is a good passer, so you just get a lot of attention when he has the ball. So we just sometimes watch him and then get back out, or the other side of the court is wide open. So it's just they're a good team. So you gotta give them credit. Yeah.
Rui, when you're also trying to give the team offense and then defend Jokic, how difficult is that on you physically?
I mean, it's actually not bad. It's just I like being physical, so it's just nothing. For me, it's nothing crazy. But as a team, I think they're just they're big, they're very physical, they're fast, and so just those are things hurting us right now. So we just gotta try to win next game. Yeah.
How do you feel how has your feeling about and your confidence about your ceiling as a player in this league changed throughout this playoff run? Because you obviously played really well.
For me, I don't know. It's just the people that know me for a long time. Just the former Wizards or like other players or coaches. For me, I don't think it's nothing. It's not new for me. It's just I had this for a while, and it's just a different opportunity. It's Lakers is like one of the biggest team in the league, and playing with LeBron, AD, the highest level. So it's just a different opportunity, and it's nothing new for me. Yeah.
All right, that's Rui Hachimura. Let's take a couple more calls. We'll go to Austin Reaves. Mike in Pasadena. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Allen. Thanks for taking the call. Long-time listener. Just a couple of points here on D'Lo. I think it's really a matter of KYP, know your personnel. They're not putting him in positions for him to be successful, and it's been a common trend in the Lakers' wins this postseason that D'Lo's been a factor. So I think what they need to do is, put the ball in his hands more, let him play make, let him run pick and roll with Davis. I think that'll unlock his game, let him distribute to others, and also make plays for himself. And that's about it. I mean, Denver's definitely the better team, but if they would have used D'Lo to his strengths, I think they could have made it a series.
Mike, appreciate you calling in. So here's my issue with that. Matt looks like he's in his own head. I mean, he's at 3 straight games where he can get his game going. Right? That's my issue. My issue is it's not like this is a one-off, and today's a good example. Today is, you're back at home. His numbers on the road versus numbers at home so far in the playoffs, he's been really significant difference. His shooting percentage and his production in home games. Well, if it ain't tonight, when is it going to be? And I don't know if the answer is, well, give him the ball more And I know what you're trying to say, maybe getting more into a rhythm or something along those lines, but Lakers just don't have any margin for error. You want him to have the ball, you want LeBron, AD, or Austin Reaves to have the ball. So he's got to get it where he can, and unfortunately, that margin for error is so thin right now for the Lakers. All right, let's take a quick listen. Austin Reaves for the Lake Show ended up with 23 points, also had 7 rebounds, played 40 minutes for the Lakers. Here's Reaves.
Hey, Austin, just first of all on tonight's game, that stretch in the third quarter when Jokic was out and they kind of kept hitting the threes, it seems like Denver's been doing that consistently all 3 games. So how do you guys handle that defensively, and where do you think the difference was?
They're a really good team. They got a group of guys that can shoot the 3 behind Jokic. Even though he's not on the court, doesn't change the fact that they can shoot the ball. So we just got to be more locked in, ready to scramble with Jamal Murray, playing the way that he was playing in the first half. You had to give him a lot of attention, but tip your hat.
Also, you mentioned the tipping of the hat. I mean, all 3 games, it was a possession or 2 game in the fourth quarter. Is there something that you feel like has been consistent in all 3 that was a difference maker for Denver?
I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something there that, swings in their favor. But to pinpoint it, if I knew that answer, I feel like we would voice that and change it. Like I said, really good team, tip your hat. But, we'll get ready for Monday.
Dan?
Austin, this team has basically been playing from behind since the first game of the season. What have you seen from this group that offers any optimism that it has one more comeback in it? And is that something that you can think about in moments like this, down 3-0?
Obviously, right now you're pissed off, how the outcome has come the last 3 games. But like you said, our back's been against the wall. I've spoke about probably the last 2 months, maybe more than that, since the trade deadline. Swinging, throwing punches to fight to get to this opportunity. So we'll go watch film tomorrow, and we can either come out Monday and go home, or we can, fight for another day. And with the group of guys that we got, I know what that answer will be.
Jovan?
Austin, is there anything you take from tonight that's a sense of optimism for you guys from, be it an adjustment or the way something kind of played out that you guys can kind of look toward for Game 4?
Right now, I can't really give you anything. Like I said, frustrated over the loss, so I haven't really thought about it that much, but we'll go back, like I said, watch film tomorrow, and try to be better on Monday.
Any more questions for Austin?
Hey, Austin, how do you feel the team's level of energy and your personal level of energy is at after, like you said, there's been 2 months of kind of throwing punches, trying to claw your way back into the fight here?
Energy level's high. We get to play basketball for a living, and this is what every guy in the locker room, every guy in the league, chooses to do, and it's something that you have a very high passion for. So any day that you wake up and you go to a job you love, as I'm sure y'all know, you don't need, any extra, push or motivation just because you're doing what you love. So that's enough right there. Every day I walk in the gym and everybody's happy to be there, seeing one another, hanging out, getting work in, just being around is really fun, and that ain't going to change. We'll go in tomorrow, and I'm sure everybody's not going to be in a good mood, but, we're still excited to, be doing this every day.
Last question, Crystal.
Hey, Austin, a lot of pick and roll from Murray and Jokic. Do they have one of the harder ones to defend so far in your experience?
Yeah, this is a very good proof of it, just because they're both so dynamic, and with the way Jamal Murray's been shooting the ball, and then just the ability of Jokic, as I spoke about last 3 games, his ability to, get the best out of everybody on the team. He's going to put you in positions to be successful. And, when you have 2 guys like that, that's, very hard to guard.
All right, that's Austin Reaves right there. We've been talking a lot about D'Angelo Russell tonight. Lakers lose. Final score, by the way, 119-108. D'Lo struggled. Let's take a quick listen. Here's D'Angelo Russell addressing the reporters.
All about runs as you guys look to kind of create that separation in the second. What were they able to do to keep you guys from creating any of that?
Kept scoring. I think they scored at a high rate. Even when we got to stop, they responded with a bucket. So it's tough to sustain a run when they continue to fight back, punch back.
The challenge when a guy like Jamal Murray gets going as he did from the jump, to stop him, slow him down, and obviously what that does for his squad, seeing him play that way.
What'd you ask me?
Just that challenge, the uphill battle to kind of stop that.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. He's been doing it all season, so it's no surprise that, they depend on him and they lean on him when they need.
Darvin Ham said you had good looks tonight. He wants you to stay aggressive. What do you make of your offensive night tonight?
Just make them. Take them, make them.
Denver, #1 team in the West, got a lot of size, have experience playing with one another for the last several years. Just as an overall opponent, what's this series been like for you guys?
They're a force. Tough for us to stop them. So continuing to see what we can learn and see if there's any holes that we can continue to take advantage of or try to take advantage of. But they're a well-oiled machine.
You guys have come back from a lot so far, in a short amount of time as a group. When you joined this team, it was 12th to 13th in the Western Conference standings. How do you view this challenge ahead of you down 0-3?
Our team?
Your team.
It's always a chance. Try to take advantage of the chance. Like I said, go watch the film and see what we can do to be better. For the guys that are getting shots, continue to make them.
D'Lo, you've been around this game a long time, and you made it very clear that you're more than just a scorer. In terms of wanting to create and make that impact for this team, what's that mental challenge as you look to find that here in the series?
For me? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Really don't. I don't know. We'll try, though. Figure it out.
What was particularly frustrating as a team in the fourth quarter when you guys had the lead with about 8 minutes left and they went on that 13-0 run?
Like I said, well-oiled machine. They scored at a high rate. To stop Jokic is another thing. And then to stop Jamal when he has it going is a whole different animal. So to try to keep those guys in check from the jump is the challenge. If we can do it, I think I like our chances. Tonight they got going, and the result was what it was.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, that's D'Angelo Russell right there with the local media. Do a couple things here when we come back. We'll take some more of your phone calls, 877-710-ESPN. I want to play an interview. KCP was with George Sedano following the game. We'll play that. Plus, we'll hear from LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Thanks for being a part of the show. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 7.
listening to the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. The Los Angeles Lakers on 710 ESPN. Presented by Pizza Hut. Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal.
Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Once again,
here's Allen Sliwa.
Lakers lose to the Denver Nuggets. They're down 3-0 against the Nuggets. 119-108 the final score. Lake Show fell behind right out of the gate. Worked their way back into the game. Pretty close, kind of back and forth there for a stretch. And then Denver goes on, I want to say, a 13-0 run to really take control of the game. And the last couple of minutes was not nearly as exciting as it seemed like the game was going to be. One of the role players, former NBA champion for the Los Angeles Lakers, KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, talked to George Sedano right after the game on ESPN Radio. Let's take a quick listen to that.
KCP, how did you guys pull this thing off here to take a 3-0 lead?
Just being aggressive the whole game, being patient on offense, getting a great shot every time down, and then getting stops when we need it.
You're so vocal in those huddles yourself in this particular group. What is it like to be connected like you guys are right now?
That means a lot, just being connected offensively and defensively. But it makes the game so much easier when we're out there playing with each other, no matter who's out there in the lineup. We just play hard, play smart, and play together.
You certainly have familiarity with some of the guys on that other side. How does that affect what you guys do?
Not at all, man. We come out here as a team, and we just play. We play Denver Nugget basketball. We play our defense. And our offense is great. But we just continue to just be patient and play our game.
Two more quick ones for you. Nikola Jokic obviously was in foul trouble. What was the message to navigate through that?
We told them just don't try to foul. You know what I'm saying? If they had a layup, let them have it. And then if we was around, somebody else take the call. You know what I'm saying? But he played great defense in that second half. Didn't have too many. I think he had one foul in the second half, and him and Jamal, they closed the game out for us.
And last one, you have a 3-0 lead. No one has ever lost a 3-0 lead. How do you close this out?
By doing what we've been doing, playing aggressive. Get out, rebound, and get out in transition where we best at, and just keep playing Denver Nuggets basketball.
All right, that is KCP with our very own George Sedano right there following the game. Take a couple calls here. Matt in Las Vegas. Matt, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Slee. First, I just want to give a shout-out to the Lakers out there as a fan, and I want to give a shout-out to Jeannie Buss and Vapalinka. The Lakers had a great season, in my opinion. I had a lot of fun watching them, especially after the second half of the season when they at the trade deadline. And I know, as a Laker fan, and I can feel it, they have one more push in them, and I hope for the best. But let's just say, in case they just lose the series, I want to get your thoughts on what do you think the Laker team is going to look like next season? You think they're going to go after a big man to back up Anthony Davis? Do you think they're going to go after Kyrie? Or are they going to get maybe shooters or defensive players? And I'd be curious to find out what your answer is, and I'll hang up and listen to you.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the call, man. Thanks for listening. It's kind of crazy to think about that because the season could be done on Monday night. That could be it. The series could be over and the season could be done. And then obviously all those questions are going to come up. I like the roster that the Lakers have. I really do. I think that you give them a full season, what could it look like? Some continuity, some chemistry. The question is how they're just going to round up. Austin Reaves, a free agent. Rui Hachimura is a free agent. And they're making a case that they deserve some money. D'Angelo Russell's a free agent. I think he's making a case going the other way, to be honest with you. Dennis Schroeder, what is he going to do? So you got a lot of question marks. But I like the style that this team plays. What you want to have your roster to be, you want your roster to reflect what your head coach is. And this is the type of roster that Darvin Ham was probably hoping for before the season started. I don't want to go too much into what next season will look like until we're there. But there are definitely some players here that you got to bring back. And I think there's other players that are legit question marks. And I'm okay with saying that. I'm very comfortable with saying that. Jonesy in New Orleans, what's going on?
Hi, I was thinking maybe the coach could give LeBron like 5 to 7 minutes a quarter instead of the time that he's getting on the court, because he looks like he's not having a great series on this one. And we need to put the ego aside. And then also, I just wondered, do we only have one center? Where's the rest of the centers at?
Well, and I appreciate you calling in. Mo Bamba's been out 3 straight games, plus a couple of the games last series as well. He's been having ankle issues. So to answer your question, yeah, there really is just one center, unless they want to try Wendy and Gabriel to give him some opportunities. As far as Bron not playing or playing less, the problem is, Jonesy, is this is it. Tonight was kind of everything. He played another 43 minutes tonight. AD played 42. Reaves played 40. They don't really have many options here. If they're going to hang in these games, they have to play, and unfortunately for the Lakers, they're playing a ton of minutes and they're still not winning. All right, before we go to... Let's actually go to Anthony Davis. I'll save these last few calls after that. Here's Anthony Davis on the Lakers' loss.
AD, that stretch after Jokic got his fourth foul, he went out for the rest of the third in about 7 minutes. Where did you feel like you weren't quite able to take full advantage, and how it was any of that emblematic of Denver and what they've been doing for the 3 games with the shot making?
Yeah, I mean, they just made some shots down the stretch. KCP, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, made shots. We did it, I think it was like 4 for 12 or something down the stretch or something like that. So that was the difference.
Jovan?
AD, how do you find optimism in this situation down 0-3 with obviously the tall task of trying to do something that's never been done before?
Take it one game at a time. Come Monday, leave it all on the floor and try to get a win. Then you take it to Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. That's all you can really do. Go back tomorrow, or go tomorrow and look at the film, see what can get better, especially late game on both ends of the floor, and then get ready to line them up on Monday and try to keep the season alive.
Dan?
AD, you guys have put so much into getting to this point in terms of 6 games under 500, 13th place, all of that stuff. Do you feel like there's been any mental or physical kind of accumulation to the climb, the extended climb that you guys have had to be on?
I think everyone in that locker room, look at it as, obviously a challenge, but quote unquote, we've done it before. Like you said, 2-10, 13th place, climbing uphill, basically all season to get to this point. And it's the same thing here. Obviously it's a steeper climb, being down 0-3, but we're going to keep taking it one game at a time and try to get better and come out with a win on Monday.
Melissa?
Hey, AD. I asked Bron this, and I want to get your take, too. Obviously, you guys have overcome overwhelming odds before. The 0.3% chance that you guys recently had written on the whiteboard. The odds are even harder now. But is that belief still there that you guys can do this?
Yeah, for sure. We never, we're never a team to pack it in. Obviously, as you see throughout the course of the season, we've always been a team to fight. We're resilient, and we're going to keep fighting until it's over. It's not over. They have to win another game. And like I say, our job is to, take it one game at a time and focus on Monday.
Crystal?
AD, in these first 3 so far, what is your feel of what works best or what is most effective in guarding Jokic, whether it's the help defense, bringing a double, drawing him away from the basket?
I think it's just giving him different looks, whether it's myself, Bron, Rui, double teaming, not double teaming. You just got to, with a player like that, you just got to throw different pitches at him. So he's not, comfortable with doing one thing or reading the defense the same way. So I think we did a good job of that tonight, mixing up pitches and making it tough on them. Obviously made some shots down the stretch, but throughout the course of the game, switching up our pitches defensively and then also attacking them offensively, seeing why he was in foul trouble. So I don't think he was the problem. I mean, Jamal Murray got hot early on in that first quarter, and then there are other guys, Michael Porter, KCP, Bruce Brown. I think all of them guys over 15 points. They made some tough shots, some big shots for them down the stretch as well. So, like I said, we go back and look at it, figure out ways we can be better, and then get ready for Monday.
All right, that's Anthony Davis right there. Before we go to LeBron James, I want to take a few calls here. Adam in L.A. Adam, what's going on? Adam, you there, bud? All right, let's go to Leon in Beverly Hills. What's going on, Leon?
Hey, Slee. Thanks so much for the call. Hey, there's 7 guys that are playing. There's 2 of them in the starting lineup that are not giving you any productivity. So it's not just D'Angelo. I mean, if you look at Vanderbilt over the last several games, he has not been even scratching. I mean, he has no confidence offensively. So what I'm a little bit surprised by is the fact that Ham hasn't gone searching for someone on that bench to give you some productivity, even, a couple 3-pointers during the game. Because really the difference, if you look at how this series could even change, is they're going to be consistent. We have to find shooting. It's the only way. Thanks a lot for the
Thanks,
call.
Leon. I appreciate it. I think a couple things here. So Michael Thompson's been talking about for 2 straight games, start Rui. And, I think part of the concept of that is, okay, well, if you start Rui, let's say they start Rui and Dennis Schroeder. Those are your best 5 that you have. It takes away from the weapons that you have off the bench. However, I think when you're down 0-3, all bets are completely off, and I don't think it matters from this point. I think you do that. I wish actually they did that tonight. I talked a little bit about in the pregame show that I'd like to have seen that instead of what the Lakers did. Ken in Newport Beach. What's going on, Ken?
Hi, Alan. So, just going to throw some stats at you. D'Lo, 26% for the series. LeBron, 3 for 19 from 3. LeBron is 1 for 22 from 3 in the playoffs in the fourth quarter. Ham didn't make the adjustments, and Rui starting was one of them. I sure hope they take that $31 million that D'Lo's getting and don't give it back to him and give it to Austin Reaves. We got to get that guy back if we're going to be anything next year.
Ken, appreciate you calling in. Let me squeeze in one more quick call. Jaron in Huntington Beach.
How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Got it, man.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. A couple things. One of them is, Reaves and Hachimura stepped up huge for us in Game 2. And I see, with Denver, they've got their guys that step up for them too. But then the stars really come in. Jamal Murray, was trash all of the first 3 quarters of Game 2, then comes in and just lights it up in Game 4. I think we really need our 2 stars, Davis and LeBron, to kind of come in and do that. Can't have Hachimura and Reaves playing the way they did Game 2 and not somehow come away with that game, even aside from how Murray was playing. And last thing I got is, obviously there's a lot of talk about D'Lo. What are your thoughts on just taking him out completely in the starting lineup in Game 4, starting Schroeder, and just having D'Lo come off the bench?
Yeah, completely okay with that. I was actually hoping they would do that tonight. Pre-game show, I talked about that. Should the Lakers make a change in the starting lineup? And listen, this has just more to do with the fact, once you're in the playoffs and you've already lost a couple games, you have no margin for error. So there is no situation that presents itself and it says, well, if this doesn't work out, we'll just try tomorrow. No, tomorrow means you're down 0-3 and your season could be completely over. All right, waited on LBJ. Here is LeBron James after the Lakers loss.
LeBron, just from a leadership perspective, what's the message to your teammates right now, down 0-3?
Just got to get one. It's one at a time. Just focus on Game 4, and that's all you can really think about. Obviously this game is over and done with. We had some opportunities, but we didn't come through. So just get ready for Monday, and just got to get one. And it's one game series for us. So every game counts, obviously.
Jovan?
LeBron, you guys had, I think, a 1 or 2 point lead with midway through the fourth.
1 point lead.
1 point lead.
Yeah.
Then they went on an 11-0 run.
We had back-to-back turnovers, and they hit 2 threes. Called timeout. That was the game.
Yeah, I guess what'd you see in that?
That was the game. We had back-to-back turnovers. After Rui went up and made 2 free throws, we went up 1, and we had back-to-back turnovers. They hit back-to-back threes, made us take a timeout. We never got back in rhythm.
Dan?
LeBron, this team has been in kind of fight for survival mode for months.
Oh, for sure.
Has there been any build-up from that in terms of, like, you guys having to be so locked in for, 40 games now or 50 games?
Yeah, we still are. We still are. And, we got to come in, obviously, tomorrow and watch film and be upset and be disappointed and whatever the case may be, and use that and use some of the miscues or whatever the case may be, and also some of the things that we did well to apply to Game 4. That's all you can worry about.
Dave?
LeBron, what's Denver doing in this series so far that's allowed them to be successful? Like, obviously, you guys faced them in the conference finals a couple years ago. They have all-stars, accomplished players on their team, but where do you think the edge has been for them?
Obviously Jamal was fantastic in the first half today. He got him off to a great start, and even with that, we were only down 3 at the half. I think it's been the timely shots by their role players. Obviously, I think the KCP, the Michael Porter Jr.'s, the Bruce Browns, even Jeff, hit a big-time timely shot today, when we were kind of going on a run. So I think it's been their supporting cast have kind of made those timely shots that's, allow them to kind of have the edge.
Melissa?
Hey, Bron. You guys had 0.3% written on the whiteboard very recently, signifying your chances of making the playoffs. You guys did anyways. Obviously, the odds of coming back from a 3-0 deficit are even tougher. But is that belief still there?
It should be. I hope so. I don't know. Can't speak for the guys right now because I don't know what's going on through all their minds right now, but I still do. It's time. I'm going right back home and start to refuel and start the treatment process and recovery process and get ready for Monday. So my mindset is always locked in as if it's a game 1.
Steve?
Yeah, LeBron, follow up to that. The only way you can win this is to make history. You've made history so many times before. You know the game. Does that thought even cross your mind that that's the only way you can do it and you'd like to make history again, obviously?
Of course. That's the only mindset for me, for sure.
Last question. Rachel?
What's the biggest challenge trying to defend Jamal Murray, with him in particular?
Once he gets going, it's kind of hard to turn him off. Obviously, he got going from the very beginning. We watched one clip at halftime where we allowed him to see the ball go in because we didn't match up a transition early in the first quarter, and he had one from their left wing by their bench, a wide-open shot. And a guy that has that type of rhythm, and we all know, Jamal is one of those guys in our league that he'll run off 20 and a quarter or 30 and a half. That's what he did tonight. So, everyone in our league knows that, especially when he gets going, he gets the bouncing and shooting them, the 3 ball, shooting the mid-range, posting up smaller guards where he can score at all 3 levels of the game, from the paint, from the free throw line and also from the 3-point line. So you tip your hat. He's a hell of a player.
All right, 119-108 the final score. That's LeBron James basically talking about the team not giving up and doing everything they possibly can to keep the season going, and that's what we got in front of us coming up on Monday. Only way the Lakers prolong the season is if they win on Monday night, try to take it back to Denver. Okay, a couple shout-outs here. I want to make sure that we give some love to Pizza Hut tonight. They came in, took care of our entire staff, so very, very much appreciated for sending in wings and boneless chicken wings and 8 different flavors. And we're very appreciative here, the whole staff getting a chance to have Pizza Hut here for dinner, so appreciate that. The other thing I want to make mention, we're back. All of us are back on Monday. We'll be doing our shows. I know the program will be a little bit different, but we'll start our local coverage, Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Max. I'll be on with Travis, regular time 10, 8 to 1. Then Mason and Ireland will do their show as well. We'll start pregame show at 4 o'clock, and tip-off is set for 5:30. Thank you to everybody here internally at the office. Thank you to Michael Funches, Rebecca Womble, and Wilbert Flores, and then our entire social media team. Thank you to Carlos Isu, Cody Liu, and Josh Martinez. Thank you all for being a part of the show. I'm Allen Sliwa, and this has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by Driven by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 volume Subaru retailer in the USA. Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale and SubaruofGlendale.net. Delivered by Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza has 6 extra large slices, big enough to hold more cheese on a crispy, fluffy crust that you gotta fold just to eat. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the